Joint venture, question number 4 from resource pack, Kia and Zarina. Kia and Zarina entered into a joint venture sharing profit and losses in the ratio 3:2 respectively. Both took an active role in the business to buy and sell chains and necklaces after repairing them. Each recorded her own transaction in her own books of accounts. So the main thing is each recorded her own transactions in her own books of account. The following transaction took place in the joint venture, and the first requirement is to calculate the profit or loss from the joint venture. We calculate profit and loss in the memorandum account. It is like income statement. All the sales and expenses will be transferred to the memorandum account. Look at the sales first. The sales figures are Kia purchased, Kia repaired, Zarina paid, Kia sold. This is the sales figure 950. Then Zarina purchased, Zarina repaired, and Kia sold. This is the second sales figure. Kia and Zarina settled their account. So these are the only two sales made by Kia, 950 and 840. The total sales are 950 plus 840, 790. Then the purchases 400, 120, and 200. The purchases are 400. These are purchases by Kia. Then the next purchases, Zarina purchased broken chains 120, and next purchases Kia purchased broken chains 200. So 200, 120, and 400, these are all purchases. 400, 120, and 200 total purchases are 720. Sales minus purchases, the gross profit is 1070. Then expenses, repair, rent, advertising, and packaging. Expenses are also given in the question. Kia repaired 160. Then Zarina paid rent 180, advertising 90. Zarina paid packaging 60. And the last expense is Zarina repaired 220. There are two repair expenses, one by Kia and one by Zarina. 160 plus 220, these two are repair expenses. 160 plus 220. Rent was only 180, advertising was 90, and the packaging was only 60. The total expenses are 710. Gross profit minus expenses, the total profit for the joint venture is 360. Their profit sharing ratio was 3:2. It was given in the question. Their profit sharing ratio is 3:2. For Kia, it is 3/5. For Zarina, it is 2/5. So the profit will be distributed in their profit sharing ratio 3/5 of 60 to Kia, which is 216, and 2/5 of 360 to Zarina, which is 144. Next part, prepare the joint venture with Kia's account in Zarina's books of account. In Zarina's books of account means all the transactions of Zarina will be recorded in this account. Zarina's books joint venture account with Kia. Zarina only paid expenses. She didn't receive any income on behalf of the business. The expenses made by Zarina were, look at all the expenses, and they will be recorded on the debit side, plus her share of profit will also come on the debit side. So Zarina expenses are 180 rent, then advertising 90, then packaging 60, then broken chains, purchase broken chains 120, and repairment 220. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These all expenses will be transferred in account 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and her share of profit is 144. So the total amount owed to Zarina is 814. The balance carried down is on credit side. The problem will come on the debit side, means it is her asset. Next, in the Kia's books of account, joint venture with Zarina. Kia received 950 and 840 on behalf of the business, and she incurred these expenses. Purchases 400, repairing 160, and purchases 200. She incurred only 3 expenses, and her share of profit was 216. It will come on the debit side. If you will balance the account 1790, the balance figure is 814. It means Kia will pay 814 to Zarina. So the balance problem will be on the credit side. Next part, C part. Explain one benefit to both Kia and Zarina of setting up a joint venture. One benefit only. We have more than one benefit. Let's then discuss. Both Kia and Zarina have benefited from each other's contribution to the business. Their contribution is like they are giving time to the business, they are giving more money to the business, they are giving their experience to the business. For example, Zarina has access to Kia's sellings market. Next, access to greater resources and finance, therefore no need to borrow. By investing into the joint venture by both partners, there are more funds available to the business, so no need to borrow money from someone else. Both have been sharing risk and cost with another person to so reducing workload. They are sharing risk and cost, so the workload is reducing by joint venture. Next part, additional information. Zarina is interested in working with Kia again, but is proposing that they enter into formal partnership agreement. Now it's Zarina wish to enter into the partnership agreement again, sharing profit and losses equally, but this time she requires a profit and loss ratio equal. Kia is not sure about this. Advise Kia whether or not she should enter into the partnership with Zarina. Justify your answer. Their previous profit sharing ratio was 3:2. Kia was taking 3/5, means she was taking 60%, and Zarina was taking 2/5, means she was taking 40%. If they will share the profit loss equally, Zarina's share will increase, but Kia's share will decrease by 10%. Look at the answer. As Kia has sold all the necklaces, presumably she has the sales contact with Zarina, which Zarina does not have. All the sale contacts are of Kia's. So why Kia would want to make partnership agreement again? Because this is advantage to Kia, not to Zarina. Both have spent approximately equal amounts, Kia 760 and Zarina 670. Look at the Kia's account. The amounts spent by Kia is 400, 160 and 200, which is 760. And the amount spent by Zarina is 180, 90, 60, 120 and 220. The total amount spent by Zarina is 670. This is almost same. If profits are shared equally, then Kia would have received 180, which is $36 less than she received in the joint venture. Look at the Kia's profit. Kia took 216. If the profit sharing ratio is equal, then Kia will receive 360 divided by 2 is equal to 180. Both partners will receive 180 if the profit sharing ratio was equal. So the Kia share will decrease by $36 from the current share. So at the end, you will give your own decision, either they should enter into the joint venture or not. The other points you can mention that the joint venture was making profit. There were no disputes among them. The final decision will be your own decision.